Hello everyone, welcome to the another video on Helm in practice with example. So far we have learned a lot about the Helm syntaxes. We started with the Helm template, and then we looked into the functions, then we also had gone into the built-in objects, then control flow, if, range, and also at last we also did go through name template. So we have covered a lot of about the syntax. Now it is real time to dive into a Helm template, and also we start creating our Helm template that will create a Kubernetes manifest files. In my GitHub repository there is a applications Docker Network Avengers. So these applications I have created for making you understand how to use the networking into the Docker, and there is a playlist here, Docker networking, and I have explained about what is that application. So you can go through this application and try to understand what is this application, and what we will do is with that same applications I have worked with a Kubernetes objects. So I have also created a Kubernetes objects for the same applications. So I have created a Iron Fist and Red Hood Kubernetes manifest files. Now I want to use this same application and create Helm template for the same. So in this video we will try to understand how we can generate many templates for these two applications, and using this one we should be able to create these manifest files from the templates. So let us start working on that, and we will look into different aspects, how to create a common objects, how to define the templates, then how to install the application. So there are so many things will come into this particular video. Let us first create a Helm chart with the name Avengers Common. Helm create and this. So this will create one Helm chart here. So we will remove everything from here and just try to remove the extra comments here, and from here and here. Okay, and then I'll go into the templates and I will remove everything from here. I do not want anything from here. Okay, everything has been removed. Now the first thing I will do is I will create one template with the name deployment. So I will say deployment dot YAML. So this is going to be my common template for deployment. I'll go back into my GitHub repository, and from Docker Network Avengers K8s folder I'll take K8s Iron Fist, all the things from here, copy it here and move it into my deployment objects, and also have created a service object. So what I'll do is I'll copy things from here and move that into service objects. So I did not have done anything special. I just have copied over everything from my deployment and service manifest file and just copied it over. So this creates my first version of Helm chart. So we can go to Helm chart, and so I have got a templates, I have got a chart, I have got a values.yaml file. Values.yaml file does not contain anything, and inside the Helm templates there are two files, deployment and service files, and deployment and service files having some template details. So what I'll do is I'll install it Helm with the command Helm install, and then I can say Helm install, and I have to provide the name. So I will provide the name iron fist. And where is my chart.yaml located? The chart.yaml located at the same location, right? So iron fist, and then it is available at the same location. So I will say dot, and I will run it. So this has installed my Helm chart, and the way I can see the Helm chart is installed or not, I can do Helm ls, and it should give me some detail about that. So it says the Helm chart name iron fist, the default namespace, because I did not provide any namespace, revision first, updated on this date and time, and it is deployed, and I can find the resources of that as well. So with Helm, with Kubernetes kubectl get pods, I should be able to see the pod is getting deployed. It is giving you error just because there is one property that is giving you the problem. I can fix it and we can redeploy it again. So let us go back into here and try to fix that issue. So here it is trying to find some value. I don't have that value. I will say okay, let's say some dummy value. So I can do that, and I can go back again and install and uninstall again. I should be able to see that Helm uninstall, and the name is iron fist. So that is uninstalled now. Now I can install again, and let us see that this error is gone or not. I think I need to provide this. So this is Helm ls. So it has installed it. I can go and check my pods. Is it running or not? Yes, it is now running, and I can find the logs as well. kubectl logs -f, and I should be able to see my application running. So the application has been started. Now we did not do anything, but what Helm has done is it has created a manifest files for us, and which manifest? Deployment and service objects that we have defined here. And if you want to see the manifest file, we can also check using the command called the template, and where is the template available? Here. And if I check it here, it is telling me that okay, it has created a service object, that is this service object, and also it has created a deployment object. So it has created two objects for me, and both are these available here now, right? So this is the base first attempt of creating the Helm chart. Now let us try to improve upon this Helm chart and try to fetch the values from values.yaml. So my deployment objects has some values, and I want to get these values from some other place. For example, let's say iron fist. So this is the static name, and I want these to be dynamic value. So how can I get it? I can get a dynamic value from chart.name. So whichever chart is going to use this particular common template, it will use that name. Same thing here also, I can change these to chart.name, right? So this is, and I want to give this as a chart.name as well. So this is also there. Iron fist, instead of the iron fist, I will say okay, whichever chart is using that, I can use that name, right? And same thing here as well, and I can use the chart name here as well. So many information we are getting from the chart name, right? Then this image value, right? There is an image value that available, and I want to fetch that information from the values.yaml. So I'll go into the values.yaml and I will define some values there. So let's say name already is coming from some other place. So image, and the image that I want to use is cup of Java Tech iron fish, right? And the version is image, and image I want to add some more values. Okay, I can say image, all the details of the image I want to keep it at one place. So I can say image and the tag, and tag is a version 1. So I can define the image.name over here, and I can use that value here. So here is the image name, right? So I can take this image name, and that value is coming from the values app name image, right? If you look at this app image name, and similarly the tag is coming from right. So tag is coming from some other place. Now image pull policy, I want to say okay, always you pull that image details. So this is some basic information I have provided. Let's say again the replica count, I want to fetch the replica count from the values.yaml. So I can say okay, I will define one replica count here, and I want to fetch the values of the replica count from values.yaml. So I will say values.yaml and replica counts. So now the replica count is also available here. Now I want to fetch more details like port and the container details. So from where I want to fetch those value, somewhere I want to define into values.yaml. So let me create one more service, and then I will say container port, and I will define 8181. So that is the 8181 port, right? This is my container port, and I also may need one port that is a target port that I may need in a service object. So I will define like that, and now I'll go back into deployment.yaml, and I will change the container port details, and I will put a values coming from values service and container port, right? So this is all I have done here. Now there is a environment variable that I want to use. So regarding the environment variable, what I will do is I will create a if condition. So if condition is true, then only I will make that environment variable available for me to use. So if condition, and inside that one I will add some condition value, and if the condition is true, then only my environment my environment variable will be created. Otherwise it will not create any environment variable. So let me go back into values.yaml, and in the values.yaml I will create few environment detail. Let's say environment, and then name one. So name of the environment. So whatever the environment variable name that I want to give, the environment variable name is Red Hood, right? I'll give that name, and also the value one. Let's say the value one that I want to give is Red Hood, right? So I can give you this value area, and I want to enable that with a condition, and I will say okay, if it is true then only enable that environment variable, otherwise you do not enable that. So environment enabled, if enabled once, let's say if I have multiple environment variable, I can say name1, name value 1 and enable 1. I can have another as well. So but let us keep it like this only and try to use it. So what is that? So I have defined like environment name1, environment enabled, right? So values dot environment dot enabled, right? So this is the enabled. So when enabled is true, then only it will go. Oh, sorry about that, I should be putting it here. Yes, if the value is true, then only it will go inside this block and create the environment variable, and values is coming from name1 and this is coming from not value 1, right? I can, let me check. Yeah, value 1. So this creates my environment variable details. So this is, now we have converted our deployment object into the template. So all the values will come from some other place. Similarly, I'll go back into the service object and I will try to change the values there as well. So similarly, the way we have done for the deployment object, we also can change the values here. For example, this name is can come from the chart dot name, right? This name also can come from the chart dot name. Now there are two ports, and two ports values are can come from the values. There is a container port and the target port, right? So container port value can come from the values dot service dot container port, and this value can come from target port. So this is how we change our service object, and this is all I need to do to change from like the normal manifest files. I created a template. Now if I want to create some another objects, I can just change the values.yaml and I should be able to render it and we should be able to use it. So let us try to see what happens now. With the Helm template command, I can render all the templates. Let's say Helm template and I just say current scope. Okay, I think Helm template, and it should be inside the Avengers common, right? Because all the things are inside this one. And look at this, what it has done. It has fetched the values. See, because the chart name is Avengers, right? This is the chart name, Avengers Commons, right? So it has picked up that name and it has created a service object chart name. Then app name it has created like this, Avengers Common. Then the container port and the service port, like service port, container port and the target ports. This has come from this value. Then let us go back into the deployment objects. Now deployment object again, chart name has come from the chart name, right? Then replica count, there is a one replica count we have defined here, right? So one value has come. Then then some other values have come, right? Here, for example, this, right? Chart name, then the app image name. The image name that we have defined is a cup of Java Tech Iron Fish, right? And the tag is version 1, right? So that has come from here, right? We also can add some default. For example, if we have not defined the tag name, so we can define like that. Okay, if it has not come from here, you go into the chart and chart app version, whatever is the app version that we have defined, dot app version, whatever we have defined, you can take it and use that. So here I can, instead of here also I can define v1 and use that, but let us keep it like that, whatever it is, but it is a default value. If the value that is not provided into the tag, we can take some default value. So this is how we can use the default again. So here if I try to render it, it is giving me char charts, I think charts images default chart dot name. I think I have made a mistake here. It should be app a capital, and now I can run it and I should be able to render it. If I don't put the value here and try to do it one more time, I should be able to get a name from the tag name from the default. So this is how we can do it, but let us keep the tag name right here. Okay, now we have got everything. We already have converted our deployment and the service object from a normal object to the template object. Now we can install this one more time and check it again. So let us go back to the command prompt and let us say if it is installed, let me uninstall Iron Fist and okay. Okay, and let us try to Helm install Iron Fist, and it is common, and let us do the dry run first. Okay, so when I do the dry run, it is giving me a service object and the deployment object, so it looks good. So I can now install this application and I can see that okay, Helm ls. So my application got installed, and Helm ls Helms, I also can check the status of which are the things got installed. So show resources, if I do like this, it can show me that how many resources it has deployed. So it has deployed Avengers Common service object, then it has deployed Avengers Common deployment object, and it has also deployed pod as well. So this is how we can deploy a Helm chart. So what we have done so far is we have created a common chart and we have deployed that. Now our goal is to replicate this into this is the common chart that we have created. This is the common template we have created. Our goal is to create a Helm template for the Iron Fist and the Red Hood, both of that applications, and then we use that with a common template. So in this video we will just do this much, and in the next video we will continue with creating the Iron Fist and the Red Hood Helm chart. So thank you for watching this video.